what's up? It's Olivia. Welcome back to my channel, Olivia Simone PhD, where I like to share my journey in academia. The past 5 years, I was a graduate student at Penn State, and I just finished my first year as a faculty member. And so in this video, I just want to give you like a very broad overview of what's been going on the last 10 months. 10 months ago is when I made my last video on this channel. If you're watching this video, please comment down below like who you are, how long have you been watching? So as a reminder, 10 months ago I accepted a position at Minot State University, which is a small state school in northern North Dakota. We're about 50 miles south of Canada. It is a teaching focused school, and so the breakdown of my work week is actually 80-10-10. 80% of my time is supposed to be focused on teaching, 10% advising, and 10% scholarship. Last time I saw you, I said that I would be teaching 4 classes each term, so we call that a 4-4 load, 4 fall semester, 4 spring semester, and I had been told I'd be teaching 2 of the same class, so 2 sections of public speaking to start out my fall. All of that changed. So in this video, brief overview, let me just tell you what's been happening. This is a very small state school, and so I was going to be the 3rd member of our communication department. Well, what ended up happening is one of the faculty members left, and so then instead of me being able to have 2 sections of one class, I then needed to fill in some of the classes that he was going to teach. So I ended up having 4 different classes. I had public speaking, which was a 100 level intro course. Introduction to communication careers. It's not called that, but that's basically what the topic was. So we had a bunch of guest speakers, to be honest with you, and we just learned about the different things you can do with a communications degree. I also taught a 300 level social media marketing class. And then what was my last class? Oh, it was a 2-unit, it's called Broadcasting and Professional Activities. And basically the professor gets to decide what the topic's going to be, but no matter what the topic is, you need to make sure the students are creating something for their portfolio at the end. If you keep hearing noises, it's because my dog likes to go around hitting things. In this class, I decided to teach them the basics of digital brand building. So whether they end up wanting to work at a company that has an established brand, or they want to do content creation themselves, they know the basics and the tools for doing that. My class sizes range, so my smallest class was 8 students, my largest class was 22 or something like that, and that took a lot of my time. Doing the 4 brand new classes took a lot of my time. 3 of the classes were Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then 1 of the classes was Tuesday, Thursday. And honestly, I said this in one of my Instagram posts, but the most difficult part of going from, grad student to faculty member, she likes pens, so she thinks we're playing, we're not, was having to go to campus 5 days a week. Going from not having classes, not having an on-campus assistantship my last semester, to now 5 days a week you have to be on campus. That was the biggest transition for me. Anyway, the classes honestly went really well. Of course, every term you're gonna have something happen. So yeah, I had a couple instances of cheating, but other than that, the students were really great. I feel like they definitely, rose to the challenge and the standard that I was holding them to. And so I was really pleased with that. Second semester, I also taught 4 classes. Thankfully, one of them was a repeat, so I had another public speaking section, and it was so much easier already having my slides done, the homeworks, instructions made, the being familiar with the rubrics and what to expect with their speeches. So that was a lot easier. But this time around, instead of 8 students in public speaking, I had 20, and so the amount of time it took to grade was a lot more than fall semester. So I still spent probably just as much time on that class, but this time it was shifted to the grading portion rather than prepping for class. My favorite class I taught this term was interpersonal communication, and for this class I used a textbook. I really liked the textbook. It was from West and Turner, and what was great is I would basically split it up, so we do the first half of the chapter on Monday, the second half of the chapter on Wednesday, and then in the book it would always have a page or 2 relating what we were talking about to like a mediated context. And so then typically on Fridays I would expand on that, since that is my area of expertise, and we would either talk about an article or I would just add more to what the 2 pages said. So I know the students really enjoyed the class as well. It's super applicable to everyday life. In interpersonal comm, we learned things like how to listen, what conflict is like, nonverbals. Talked about relationship formation and disillusion. We talked a tiny bit about like family dynamics and how those change when you go to college. But again, that was like half of a lecture. We focused on that. So that class was fun. I also got to teach media effects, which, as you guys might know, I taught that several times at Penn State. So I was able to use a lot of the same material. I would say I had about 65 to 70% of the materials already made. But then there was still quite a lot because it was like exam 2 and exam 3 I had to like make from scratch. My last class was a 300 level class called Persuasion, and so we just went over persuasion theories. And again, that class was fun because it was much smaller and most of the students were upper division, or at least I was expecting them to perform at an upper division level. And so that is fun when you get to have those, higher level conversations and really ask like, well, what's your opinion? What's your insight? Like based on the reading that you've done, right? Based on your other classes. At this point, they've started building up, that foundation that they get to work from. And so that's one reason why I really enjoy upper division classes. So that was teaching. In the fall, I have 3 repeat classes, I believe. One of them I am going to alter quite a bit, but the other 2 will stay pretty similar. So hopefully that'll be easy. Now here, along with teaching, what falls under teaching responsibilities is advising. I did start getting advisees in the fall, and here at again, teaching institution, an advisor means it's the person who's helping you decide what classes you're going to take, make sure you're meeting your requirements. If they've got a question about like, graduation or things like that. There's not training to be an advisor, so I very much just had to like go in and learn the course catalog, not the catalog, but the catalog, like all the requirements and things like that. And then of course some things are on the website, so I'm asking my colleague like, hey, when are these classes offered? Oh, they're offered every fall, every other fall. Awesome, thank you. I don't remember how many I started with, but at the end of this semester I have 14 students that I advise. With it being such a small school as well, faculty members help run new student orientation, so I did that a few times as well. Went to new student orientation, helped the new comm students pick out what their classes were going to be in the fall. And then I'm also doing this online advising, so students who can't make it to orientation, they can do an online advising session and we can talk through course requirements and things like that and get them signed up for classes as well. Let me know if having a faculty advisor is familiar to you or not. I attended a large undergraduate institution, but even my sister's school, which wasn't like, it's bigger than Minot State, but still wasn't that big. I'd still classify it as like small liberal arts school. We had actual like people whose job it was to be an advisor, right? Like that was their job. Like, oh, I don't know what classes I'm going to take. I'm going to the advising office and talking to an advisor. In addition to advising students, I also advise a student club. So we have a club focused on content creation where students are interested in building their own brands. Again, my area, my department is called professional communication, and we're tied really closely with multimedia and art. And so a lot of the students are photographers, graphic designers, artists, and they want to like share their work with people. And so that's mainly who we've got in the club. Yeah, it's mainly, there's a lot of photographers. Moving on to scholarship. So this year I did get my first publications. My first one was actually solo authored in Mass Comm and Society. I was looking at how social media influencers, when they post about therapy, how does that influence their audiences? And so I will also put the link down below if you want to check it out. And then the other one I am second author for. We got it published in Body Image, but we were looking at what I eat in a day videos on TikTok and how that influences like body image variables essentially. And we found that when you viewed high calorie what I eat in a day video against their positive mood, decreased body dissatisfaction, so that's good, increase body appreciation, but then also increase people's intention to diet. So watching people eat really unhealthily made someone go, okay, I need to make good food choices. I'll put that link down below as well if you would like to check it out. I also led a group project through the Page Center Lab Group at Penn State. So in that lab group, it's not only current grad students and faculty at Penn State, but alumni can also join in. And so I joined in. I ended up leading our project, which I'm really grateful they gave me that opportunity because it is more so like a student-focused lab group. It's a big learning experience, and I feel much more prepared now to lead projects, create timelines, create expectations, what to do if expectations are not being met. So it was a really helpful experience that I think I'm going to take with me, you know, as I hopefully like work with grad students someday, or as I'm just like, you know, collaborating on other projects. With that one, we went to Orlando to present our research in progress, and then our full paper will be presented this summer at another conference, and then we're also submitting it to a journal this summer, like hopefully in this next week. So yeah, making quite a bit of progress on my research. Now I will say, since it is, you know, my split is 80-10-10, a lot of my research I've ended up, it's been my hobby. So it's like, if it's a 3-day weekend, you're gonna find me at a cafe in town working on a paper, or if it's, you know, Thanksgiving break or whatever. So that's really been my weekends and holidays hobby. I've also done quite a few reviews this year. So I peer reviewed for one journal, peer reviewed a couple papers for ICA, and then I was assigned, I think, 9 things to review for NCA, which was way too many in my personal opinion. I ended up reviewing 8 of those things and abstaining from 1, since once I started reading it, I was like, this is not, it was like a critical cultural approach, and I literally don't even know how to give feedback for this, because my feedback is like, why are you spending 3 pages talking about this one thing? But like, that's just how they do it in that paradigm. I mentioned that at the beginning of fall, one of our faculty members left, and so in January we actually had a new faculty member join us. And so that's been really nice to have another faculty member, another person to like bounce ideas off of, or be like, hey, I'm experiencing this. Are you also experiencing this? Okay, cool. It's not just me. This year, the school also went through some restructuring. We also got a new building that's been under renovation for a couple years, and so we were able to move our offices into there. I have a window now, which feels so fancy. There's of course been more stuff, but don't really want to bore you with it, honestly. It's like department meetings, new faculty meetings, other expectations. But yeah, I can talk about that stuff in a different video. But yeah, I survived my first year. I'm confident that my students learned a lot. So I feel like, you know, mission accomplished. That's what my job is. I feel like I succeeded in that. As a faculty member, our contracts are, you know, August 15th to May 15th. So I am technically off for the summer. I did choose to get my paycheck over 12 months instead of 9 months, which is nice. So instead of getting like really bulky paychecks during the semester but then having to tuck money away, they were smaller, but I will continue to receive them throughout the summer. So that's nice to not have to worry about income right now. I don't have to go get another job if I don't want to. And so I'm using this time to actually work on research projects. Like I said, that's my, you know, holiday hobby. Yeah, I'm excited to have a summer that's just casually working on research. Like the other day I went and worked for like 3 hours and then I was done. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna be making more videos, things like what I wish I would have known before I started, what the first couple weeks as a faculty member was like, how it's different than being a grad student. If you have any suggestions for videos, please leave it down in the comments below. Also, again, please make sure, I mean, you don't have to do this, but if you wanna let me know like who you are, how have you been, what have you been up to in this past year since I've been, you know, since I have not uploaded and just been trying to make through this semester. Yeah, okay, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys soon, I promise. I'm going to make more videos and get them edited and uploaded. There will be content this summer. Okay guys, bye.